friends, welcome to the Basics of Python series by Urdu IT Academy. So let's continue with our lesson 3. So today we are going to learn about data types and data structures used in Python. Okay, so these data types and data structures are the building blocks of any program, and understanding them will help you write efficient and effective code. Okay, so first let's look on different types of data types. So these data types are data storage format that a variable can store data to perform a specific operation. Okay, which means these data types specify the type of value a variable can hold. Okay, suppose in the last, maybe you have variables like number 1, number 2, or imagine you have variables like x, y, or maybe score. You can have any kinds of variables, right? So these data types specify the type of value, whether the variable is holding some numbers, whether the variable is holding some string. So that value, that kind of value the variable hold, will specified by these data types. Okay, and according to that, it can dictate what operation can be performed on that particular variable. Okay, and these data types, they are used to define a variable before we use it in a program. Okay, always remember we have to define the variable. So to define the data type before we are using it in a program, and the size of the variable or an array is determined by this data type. Okay, yeah. So these are the different types of data types and data structures in Python. Okay, so the first one is a text type. Text type, we have only one text type available, which is a str, which is a short form of string. Okay, the second one is a numerical type. Numerical type is included by, in numerical type, we have mainly three types: int, float, and complex. Okay, int means the whole numbers without any decimal point, just like minus 6300, maybe 1200, all kind of whole numbers is included inside the int. Okay, float means a floating type value, which means 0 0.5, 1.26. Okay, and complex means complex type that we will learn. Okay, and the Boolean type, Bool can have only two types of value. It can be either true or false. Okay, and in data structures, we have two types of data. We have mainly two types of data structure available: mapping type and sequence type. Mapping types include dict, and the sequence type include list and tuple. Okay, let's learn that. So first, let's look on to the data types in Python: the text, numeric, and the Boolean types. Okay, let's try some examples first. Okay, so first one is a string, the text type string. Okay, so string in Python are identified as continuous set of characters represented inside the quotation mark, which means whatever we write inside the double quote. Maybe I have a variable x. Okay, imagine I have a variable x and I'm writing x is equal to inside the double quote. Whatever you're writing inside the double quote comes under the string. Okay, maybe I'm writing hello world. Now this hello world is a string. Okay, so maybe I can write something like, suppose I have a variable y, and inside the double quote I am writing 1 2 3 4. Even though the 1 2 3 4 is a number, 1 2 3 4 is numbers, since they are included inside the double quote, it is a string now. Okay, this 1 2 3 4 is inside the double quote, so computer will treat it as a string. Clear? Okay, so in Python, whatever you are adding inside the double quote, okay, whenever you are adding a value inside the double quote, it becomes a string type, str type. Okay, so whenever I'm printing it, maybe whenever I'm printing x, okay, or maybe whenever I'm printing y, it will be printing their values. You can see it's printing hello world and 1 2 3 4. So here hello world is set of characters and 1 2 3 4 is numbers, right? But don't get confused, 1 2 3 4 inside the double quote, so it's a string. If you want to check now, we can check the type of the data. For example, maybe we can use, okay, the type function to recognize which data type is, is a value inside that variable. maybe whenever I'm checking type of X, okay, before that, maybe I'm going to print data type of X is, yeah, it should be in a double quotes. Okay. So whenever we are running it, you can see it's printing data type of X is class str. Class str means it's of string type. Okay. Let's check the data type of the Y. Okay. So the value of Y is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So let's see what will be the data type of Y. Let me run the code. You can see data type of Y is class str. Okay, even though Y is having the value 1, 2, 3, 4, since we have added inside the double quote, the data type of that number will be string itself. Okay, because it's not a number anymore, it's a string because they are inside the double quote. Okay, so this is the first data type in Python, text data type, which is string. I hope it's clear. Okay, now the next type is a int. Okay, so for the int type, maybe I'm erasing it. Let's look on the second type, which is int. Okay, int means a number, a whole number without any decimal point. Okay, actually in Python now Python can have many different types of numerical data types. Mainly we have three: int, float, and complex. Okay, int means a number with no decimal part, which means a whole number. For example, I have a variable x, then it will be like 1, 2, whenever I'm writing 1, 2, 3, 4, it's an integer. Or maybe I can write y equal to minus 40, minus 4, negative 4, y equal to negative 4 here. It's also an integer. Okay. So whether it is negative or positive, any number without a decimal point will be considering it as an integer. Okay. Int is a short form of integers. Okay, let's try. I'm going to print maybe first x. After that, in the next line, I'm going to print type of x. Sorry, we have to print it. Then only we can see that. Okay, you can see it's printing 1, 2, 3, 4, and the type of x is int. Okay, same thing. Let's try for the y also. I'm going to print y, and I'm going to print type of y. So y is minus 4, and the data type is int. Remember, int is a short form of integer. Okay, now the next numerical type is float. So float is a number with decimal point, which means a floating point value. Okay, for example, maybe x is equal to 1.5. Okay, so whenever I'm printing x, it will print 1.5, and whenever I'm printing type of x, it's going to print the data type, which will be float. See, it's printing 1.5 first, which is a type of, which is the value of x, and the data type is float. Okay, yeah, let's continue. Now the last type, numerical type actually, it's the complex. Actually, we don't use it regularly. We don't use it, okay? It's only for the high-level mathematicians we need. Okay, it's a math thing actually. Yeah, so complex means it's a number, maybe same variable x is equal to, the complex numbers will have a real and an imaginary part. You will learn in your school, okay? Maybe in your 11th or 12th grade, or in your colleges if you're, it's you're taking your high studies in math, you will learn the complex numbers where we will have a real and an imaginary part. For example, it will be written like this, 30j. Remember, it should be always j. Okay, so whenever I'm printing it, it's going to print 30j, and whenever I'm printing the type of x, It's going to print the complex type. See, it's printing 30J and the class complex. Okay, so these are the three different numeric data types available in Python: int, float, and complex. Remember, int means a whole number without any decimal point, and float means a number with a decimal value, which means a floating value, and complex means a complex data type which include real and an imaginary part. Clear? Okay. So yeah, so far we have looked on the text type, which is str. So str means it's short form of string. So all the values should be, it's a continuous set of characters included inside the double quotes. And the second one is numerical type, int, float, and complex. And the next one is the Boolean type, bool. Okay, let's look on the Boolean type now. Okay, so the Boolean type means in the Boolean type, they represent only two type of value. Okay, it can be true or false. Okay, so they are often used in conditional statements. For example, if I'm writing x equal to maybe 1 greater than 2. Okay, now I'm going to print x and I'm going to print the type of x. Let's see. It's printing false. Okay, because 1 is not greater than 2. So it's printing false and it's printing class bool. Okay, or maybe in another example, maybe we can write maybe y equal to maybe 5 less than 7. Okay, after that we have to print y and we have to print type of y just to check them. Okay, so whenever I'm running it, you can see here print y is true because 5 is less than 7. The condition is correct, that's why it is printing true. Okay, so whenever we are writing a condition like this, 1 greater than 2, computer will check if that expression is correct or wrong. 1 is greater than 2, which is false, it's not true. So false, the x will be, the value of x will be false. That's why here it is printed false. Now in the line number 6, we are checking y equal to 5 less than 7. 5 less than 7 is true, correct? Which is true. That's why the value true is stored inside the variable y. Okay, and the class type is bool. Okay, I hope it's clear. Now let's continue. Yeah, so these are the three data types available in Python. Okay, now let's look on the data structures. Okay, so we have mapping in the data structure, we have mapping type dict and the sequence type list and tuple. These three are the most common ones we are using. Let's continue. Yeah, so here we have, let's look on all the four. We have actually mainly we are using list, tuple, and dictionaries, but we have another type, sets also available in Python. Okay, now let's see what are the difference in the on these four data structure. Okay, so list means list is a set of values. And one more thing I forgot to tell you, the difference between a variable and a list. Okay, so the main difference is that in a variable we can store only one value at a time. Okay, for example, x can have a value 5. The next time you are going to write x is equal to 10, the previous value 5 will be erased and the new value 10 will be added. Okay, but a list can contain multiple values at the same time. Not only list, all these data structures in the list, tuple, dictionaries, and sets, all of them can contain more than one value at the same time. Okay, all right. Yes. So data structures are used to store and organize data in a way that enables efficient access and modification. Okay, so that we can easily access and we can modify the data. Okay, and the main importance to use a data structure is that mainly the efficiency. Like whenever we have a lots of data, different data structure offer various ways to efficiently store and retrieve this data. Okay, And it's very easy for us to organize and manage this data logically. And another importance for using data structure is that it's scalability. Scalability means proper use of data structure allows application to scale by managing large volume of data efficiently. Okay. All right. So let's look on them. Yes. So the first one is a list. Okay. So lists are ordered, mutable collection of mutable collection of items. They are defined using square bracket and can hold multiple items of different data types. Okay, we'll look into the examples later. So that's it, the list. Okay, remember list are ordered item. It's an ordered list are ordered, and it can have multiple values of different kinds of data types, and it's a mutable collection of item. It can have, all right, it's a mutable collection of item. Okay, and the tuple, on the other hand, it's similar to list. Okay, but they are immutable. We cannot change tuple of once you have created. Okay, so tuple is similar to list, but they are immutable, meaning they cannot be changed after creation, and they are defined using the parentheses. Okay, now the third one is the dictionaries. Dictionaries are unordered collection of key value pair. Okay, and yeah, so the next type, sorry, and dictionaries now we have to define them using the curly braces, and are highly efficient for lookups. Okay. Now the last one is a set. Sets are unordered collection of unique items, which mean they are defined using curly braces, or we can use the set function also. Okay. Now let's look on the examples. Are examples. All right. So the first one is the list. Okay. So the list, I use it for ordered collection of items. Okay. For example, maybe I have a list, fruits. Fruits equal to maybe banana, comma, cherry. Sorry, banana, comma, cherry, comma, maybe apple. Okay. So this is a list. Okay, so fruits is the name of the list, and these are the three values inside the list. Remember, whenever you are creating a list, the value should be inside the square bracket separated by comma. And here you can see for the banana, cherry, and apple, I have used the quotes, single quotes, right? Because these are the string values. Banana is a string, cherry is a string, apple is a string. That's why you have to use a single quote or double quote. Okay, so whenever I'm printing it, you can see it's going to print it, the list. Okay, and whenever I'm printing type of fruits, yeah, it's printing the type list, class list. Okay, yeah, and one more important feature is that here in the fruits, I have only entered the string data types, right? There is nothing like we can add only string values. If you're using string, it should be always string, or if it is numbers, it should be always number. There is nothing like that. Okay, that's the main feature of the list in Python. It can have different values of different data types, which means maybe, for example, I have a list named as my list. So my list equal to, maybe I'm going to give a value, or maybe apple. It should be inside quotes because apple is a string. Maybe now 100. We don't want a code for 100 because it's an integer. 22. It's also again integer. Maybe we can have floating value also, maybe 4.5. It's a float value. Maybe again I'm adding another string. Okay, if you want, We can add the complex type also. See? So we can have, yeah, we have to print it, sorry. So I'm going to print my list. In the next line, I'm going to print type of my list. Okay. So you can see it's printing the list and the class list. Okay. So this is the list type in Python. Okay. So always remember the list we are using for ordered list is a ordered collection of data. Okay. It should be always inside the double quote separated by commas. And whenever you're adding the string values, don't forget you have to add them inside the quotes. And for the integers and the numbers and all, no need of the quotes. Clear? All right. Now let's look on the second type, the tuple. Yeah. So the tuple are used for immutable ordered collection. Okay, we cannot change the values once we have created it. So it's very similar to list. Maybe I'm going to create a tuple, maybe fruits itself, same one. Fruits equal to, you have to use parentheses here. In the list, we have used the square bracket, but for the tuple, we have to use parentheses. Maybe same thing, apple, banana, cherry. The next line, I'm going to print fruits. After that, I'm going to print type of fruits. See? Okay. So we have to add them inside this parenthesis separated by commas, all the values. And it's a class tuple. It's very similar to list, but remember, these are immutable ordered collection of values. Okay. Now the next one is the dictionaries. Dictionaries have dictionaries is like a key value pair. Okay. For example, maybe I have a dictionary, maybe X. Okay. X is my dictionary name. You have to use a curly bracket. Now, maybe I'm going to type uh, name is a key here, colon, name maybe Ria. Okay. After that, comma, colon. Yeah, so it should be in the quotes. Age, colon, maybe 50. Okay. So here, name and age are keys, and Ria and 15 are the values. Okay. In the next line, I'm printing it. You can see it's printing the dict type dictionary and class type is dict. Okay. So dictionaries are used for key and value pair. Clear? Yes. Now the next type is set. Okay. So sets are used for collection of unique items. Okay. For example, maybe here also we are using curly bracket, maybe 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Okay. Now let's print it. You can see it's printing that and it's of the class set. Remember, sets are used for collection of unique items. Okay. Yeah. I hope this one is clear to you. Okay. So why we are using the data structures? Because of it, because we can efficiently manage, store and retrieve our data, and it's very easy for organizing, and it will improve the scalability of our code. Okay. And if you have still confused now, just think of data structure like different type of containers you might use in your kitchen. Okay. For example, a list is like a spice rack. where you can easily see and grab any spice by its position. Okay. Whereas a dictionary is like a label set of jars where you can quickly find the spice by its name. Okay. Yeah. So these are all about the list and data structure. So we have covered the essential data types and data structures in Python. Okay. So always remember, text type is a string, which is a continuous set of characters inside the quotes. Numerical type, we have int, whole numbers. Float is a decimal number with decimal value. And complex is a complex type containing real and imaginary part, for example, 30J. And bool can have two values, true and false. Dict is a key value pair. And sequence type, we have list and tuple mainly. List, we have to add the values inside the square bracket, separated by comma. We can have different values of different data types. Whereas tuple, similar to list, but we cannot change the values later. Okay. And we have one more, which is set, which can hold unique items. Okay. So understanding, this is very simple, but the understanding this concept is crucial as um, they form the backbone of your program. Okay. So in the next video, we'll explore more advanced topic. Thanks for watching and happy coding. Assalamu alaikum.